That one reads 0612 00612-775. Do you see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And is that your handwriting?
It looks like my right, sir.
Okay. And the one below it, which is 00612-716 for $1,755. Is that your right?
It looks like my right, sir.
Now, let's go to the middle where it's the signature block, where the Dunbar representative signs.
Yes, sir.
For the one we talked about that's in the amount of $5,986, you see the signature, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That looks somewhat similar, does it not, to the signatures up above that you see, which is the second, third, fourth, and fifth line down?
It doesn't look good. Sorry, say again?
Does the signature in the box that's 5986 for that particular deposit,
Okay.
is that similar to the handwriting that's in up above in the signature box on line 2, 3, 4, and 5?
If you can, sorry, if you can say the numbers like you said, 5986, and you said the next number, it's better for me to understand, sir.
Okay.
Please.
Take a look at the second line down, which has a deposit of 4766.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Does that handwriting in the signature block for the Dunbar representative
Yes,
look
sir.
like the handwriting in the signature block for the deposit of 5986?
Yes, sir.
Is that also true for the handwriting in the signature block for the deposit of 3143, which is the third line down on the sheet?
Yes, sir.
Now, on the same day, sir, as January 12th at 11 o'clock, there's another deposit written down, is there not, of January 12th?
Yes, sir.
That has a different time, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
It shows 1548, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And, sir, take a look at the initials in that signature block.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen those initials before of any Dunbar driver or representative that you met?
I don't remember those signatures, sir.
Okay. So in any event, do you ever recall a Dunbar representative coming to Angeles more than once on one day?
We don't call them, sir. They can.
I'm
sorry.
Now, that's all right, but it's not responsive to the question, sir. My question was, do you recall ever a Dunbar representative, more than one, coming on the same one day to Angeles while you worked there?
We don't recall. We don't call, sir. I don't understand. I'm sorry.
While you don't call for a Dunbar representative, I'm asking you, maybe you don't understand the word recall.
Yes, sir.
Recall
No, recall is called 2 times.
All right. Let me try another. Do you have any memory? Do you understand what the word memory means?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any memory of a Dunbar representative coming to Angeles more than once on the same one day?
No, sir.
Now I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit H. Sir, is that your signature again
Yes,
in the
sir.
form?
Yes, sir.
And the signature of Lou, sir, was signed on January 12, 2009 at 15:49 p.m. Is that correct?
48.
48 in the book. Got 49 here.
Or
But for an amount that's identical, the amount in the book concerns $1,755, right?
yes.
And sir, you were the one, once again, who signed for the deposit. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It looks like my writing.
Sir,
Mr. President, could you just move that out of the way?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Mr. Oliveira, last Friday we showed you not as Exhibit A. As Exhibit D for identification, the plaintiff's verified complaint. See that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, you see that there's a date stamped on the front of it, July 27, 2009?
Yes, sir.
And if you recall, last Friday I showed you the page with your signature on it under the word verification.
Yes, sir.
And you signed that on July 22, 2009 under the pins and penalties of perjury, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And last time, sir, you said that the complaint filed against you
Yes, sir.
by Angeles for velocity was filed earlier in time, is that correct?
Early in time?
Earlier to the time this complaint was filed, isn't that right?
I don't understand exactly what you say, sorry.
You told this jury last Friday
Yes.
that you heard that there was a complaint filed by Angeles against you, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
That you went to an attorney, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that after you went to the attorney, that complaint that I just showed you was filed, is that correct?
The same day, I went over there, spoke to him, and I told the story, and he said he's going to defend me, and I signed the papers.
So you waited while those papers were typed?
I don't know if it was type. I was talking to him, and the secretary came, knocked the door, and opened, and gave me the paper, and I signed it.
Did you tell him before you met him? I would draw it. I have this marked for identification.
Did you show what you got there? Councilman Miller?
Sir, I'm showing you what has been marked I for identification. You see that?
Yes, sir.
Sir, is your signature on the front page of this?
Yes, sir.
And you signed this on October 1, 2009, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's when you received a copy of the complaint against you filed by filed by Angeles against you for velocity, isn't it? Yes. That's the date on which you received a copy of the complaint by Angeles filed against you for velocity, isn't it?
I did receive copies.
You never received a copy.
He faxed me something, but I don't remember if he was a copy. I just signed it.
So when you signed this, what did you sign for?
To the fence?
You see it says return of service?
Yes, sir.
You see it says that you accepted, I accepted service of the within summons together with a copy of the complaint in this action. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I move Exhibit I into admission.
Any objection? Any objection?
Subject to the acting of the paragraph. Now, sir, over the weekend, were you shown any documents at all in preparation for your testimony here today?
No, sir.
Sir, you testified where it was recorded on a DVD by the police, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also talked to them before you were ever recorded, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you were also recorded when you appeared before the grand jury, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, sir, I'm going to give you have a moment, Your Honor. I'm going to provide to you, sir, a document of 49 pages entitled Interview with Lucio Oliveira.
Yes, sir.
That is a typed version of what you said when you were interviewed on the DVD.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also going to provide to you, sir, in front of you, a copy of your grand jury testimony, which you provided on April 22, 2009, to the grand jury, okay?
Okay, sir.
Sir, in the course of my questioning, I will direct you to specific pages in one and sometimes both of the documents, okay?
Okay.
Well, first, sir, I'd ask you to look at the DVD transcript, which is the 49 pages. It shows 49 up at the top. Do you see that? And, sir, on the occasion when you were interviewed by the police, on the DVD, you told them that Mr. Sideri left the restaurant around 10 o'clock, didn't you?
I don't remember, sir.
Okay. Would you turn, sir, to page 10, line 18 through 19, and see whether or not that refreshes your recollection? Read it to yourself and see whether or not that causes you to remember.
Okay.
Does that cause you to remember that you told the police on that day that Mr. Sideri left the restaurant around 10 p.m.?
I don't remember if I told them, but right here says that, yes.
It says it in there, but it doesn't cause you to remember that you said that. Is that correct?
No, sir.
Now, I'd ask you, sir, didn't you tell the grand jury that Mr. Sideri left the restaurant around 9 p.m.?
I don't remember what I said that day, sir.
Would you take a look at the grand jury transcript, not the one you've got open now, you can close that one, and in the grand jury transcript, please look at page 11, line 2. Have you read that to yourself?
Yes, sir.
And does that refresh your recollection that Eric left the restaurant around 9 p.m.?
No, sir.
Does it say that in the book?
I don't see it.
This would be page 11, line 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Interpreter.
Do you need an interpreter to help you read the English?
No, right here say interpreter. No, I don't need it.
Okay. And, sir, does that refresh your recollection that Eric left the restaurant around 9 p.m.?
I don't remember exactly time, sir.
Did you say to the grand jury that Eric left the restaurant around 9 p.m.?
He said he left after the business, sir. After the around 9.
Does it say the time of 9 p.m. in that answer?
The book or my answer, sir?
In the book that you're looking at.
The book say 9 o'clock, sir. Yes.
So, turn back to page 10. You were asked, were you not, in a question that begins at line 23. And when was the last time that you saw him? After you saw him at 7 p.m., when did you see him? When was the last time you saw him after 7 p.m.? And then your answer, which the interpreter recited in English for you, was, I haven't seen him more after 9 o'clock, more or less. Isn't that correct? Have I read that correctly?
But I didn't know where you were reading, sir. You didn't talk
Okay.
back.
So let's begin again. Mr. Guevara didn't touch you at all.
I don't remember to say repeat, sir.
So I'm going to ask you, sir, to look at pages 23 and 24 of the 49-page document. Not that one. The one on the left.
I think to make sure that things don't get confused, we've got to mark those for identification. So if you could just give them to the board. confirm the videotape and K is the grand jury minutes.
That is correct.
Thank you.
I'm correcting you to Exhibit J for the moment, sir. Okay. And I'm going to ask you if you would look at page 23.
Yes, sir.
And read from line to yourself, line 12, all the way to the end of that page, and then continue on page 24 to line 8.
Okay, sir.
Have you read that, sir?
No, sir. I need a little time, please.
Go ahead.
Just take it.
The 24 to...
There would be to page 24, line 8. Please let me know when you have finished reading it, but take your time, as much time as you need to read it.
Yes, sir, I'm finished.
Sir, you told the police when they specifically asked what Mr. Guevara was doing when Mr. Sideri tied your hands, you said, "Al, don't touch me at all." Isn't that correct?
The book says yes.
You don't have a memory of that, do
I
you?
don't remember, sir.
And sir, you were then asked right after that by the police, just standing there watching, and you answered, same position, stay at the desk, like this, holding money in his hands, and. Isn't that what you answered?
I don't remember an incident that day, sir, but in the book say yes, it's correct.
You don't deny, do you, that if it appears in the book, and it's attributed to you, that that's what you said in the interview?
I don't understand your question very well, sorry.
Do you believe, sir, that what you said in the interview to the police is reprinted in the document that you're looking at?
Yes.
Now, in the grand jury minutes, sir, you never told the grand jury, as you told this jury, that Mr. Guevara participated in putting zip ties on you, did you?
Sorry, sir, I still don't remember when I said that they true.
Yes.
Sir, when you met with the police, is it fair to state that your memory was better then than it is today?
So I can say again the question, please?
When you met with the police,
Yes.
did you have a better memory of the events than you do today?
I remember what happened with me, sir, at that night. Right now I remember.
Well, you remembered that what happened to you when you spoke to the police is that Mr. Guevara didn't touch you at all with regard to the zip ties, did he?
I don't remember what I told the police that night, that day. But I tried to explain everything. I tried to tell them what happened.
And when you tried to tell them what happened, you never told them that Mr. Guevara had helped in putting zip ties on you, did you?
I don't remember what I told them.
Well, sir, do you remember what you told this jury last week?
What happened with me? Yes, sir.
Do you remember what you said about the zip ties?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you tell us why you said to this jury that Mr. Guevara helped put on the zip ties?
Why he helped?
Yes, when
Because
you didn't... I haven't finished the question.
Sorry.
Can you tell this jury why you told them, just last week, that Mr. Guevara helped put zip ties on you when you had never said that before you took the stand just last week?
Because what I told you, what exactly happened. If I did it all the first time, I'm sorry, but it exactly happened. When I put the zip tie, you gotta get on your knee, and he put on my left arm, and Guevara came to the right side, and he helped too.
Well, sir, you told the police on that night, when they specifically asked you what Mr. Guevara was doing, you were questioned of Mr. Guevara. This again is page 24. Just standing there watching. And you said, same position, stay at the desk, like this, holding money in his hands. Isn't that what you said to the police?
I don't remember what I said to the police. Sorry.
Sir, isn't it a fact that the reason you added in Mr. Guevara last week is because you have a lawsuit against Mr. Sideri and Mr. Guevara, naming Mr. Guevara?
No, sir. He helped put the zip tie on me, sir.
Now, recall, sir, being asked by the police how it was that you recognized the gun?
You can remember, Joe, how I thought you recognized the gun?
Yes.
I said it was a 38.
And did you tell the police how you knew it was a 38?
I don't know if they asked me, but I think I said. I don't remember if I told them, but I know how I recognized.
Well, sir, when you told the police about the 38 striker, you told this jury last week that you recognized it because you were in the Boy Scouts, isn't that correct?
Yes, you're correct.
You told the police, didn't you, and this would be at page 25. Sorry, page 27, sir. Lines 6 through 8. You told the police...
The book J, sorry.
In J.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
You told the police, didn't you, at line 5, when they said, now, you say a 38. You answered, I believe a 38 because when I see movies a long time ago, the other gun has a square one. But the 38 number, you recall telling them you recognized the 38 because you saw it in the movies a long time ago?
No, I don't remember saying that, sir.
Do you recall telling the grand jury, not only because you were in the Boy Scouts, but because you had a friend in the police force, that his boss was in the Army and taught him, and that that's how you knew about the gun?
No, I don't have a friend in an army, sir.
Take a look at page 37, lines 17 through 22, sir. Of the grand jury. That would be exhibit for identification K. Thank you, Your Honor.
Page 37?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
recall being asked specifically on that page, after saying that you imagined it was a .38 caliber, you were asked, had you had occasion to see a gun before, and you said yes.
Sorry, sir, I don't know where we in the
Page
37.
37,
Yes.
start off at line 12 and read it to yourself all the way down to line 24.
Okay.
Read both that portion of the grand jury document that I was talking about and that copy of your videotape transcription. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Sir, in the videotape, you simply told them that you recognized the .38 because you had seen the movies a long time ago. Isn't that correct?
I don't remember, sir.
But that's what it says in that document, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, wait a minute, Mr. President. Members of the jury, the court suggested to the witness, and the rig says that he look at what Mr. Krasno had asked him to read. So the court didn't ask him. I was following up on Mr. Krasno's question. Go ahead.
You told the grand jury, though, that the way you knew was that you had been a Boy Scout for 5 years, your boss had been in the Army, and your boss taught you and showed you. Isn't that correct?
I don't remember, sir.
But that's what it says in the grand jury, isn't it?
In the book, yes, sir.
Now, sir, when Mr. Sideri first appeared from behind the corner, you were sitting in a chair, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
And it's a chair somewhat like this chair in terms of that it has legs, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you said the very first striking of you was on your hip. Isn't that correct?
What's hip, sir? What's hip means?
Either here or here on your body,
No.
where the bat first struck you?
No, sir.
That's not true.
No.
Where did you tell this jury the bat first hit you?
Yes.
On your left.
Yes.
And sir, when you were sitting at the chair, were you facing the desk?
No, sir. I was like this. That's the desk. That's the safe. I was like this. I was talking about it.
And when you were sitting there on the chair, your legs were in front of the chair,
I was like this.
and you're saying that the bat hit you, point again where? Right on the front of your leg,
Yes, sir.
while you were sitting in the chair.
Why?
While you
Yes.
were sitting in the chair. A point of fact, you also told this jury that you got struck in the back of your legs while you were sitting in the chair. Isn't that correct?
No, sir. He hit here, and he hit me again. So which one? And I pushed this, and he hit me.
Were you standing up when he hit you there?
A little bit.
You were off the chair.
Half, sir.
Sir, the very first mention of the bat by you to the police is when the bat is struck on your left bicep. Isn't that true?
Say it again, please.
The very first time
Yes. Here, sir?
you talk about the bat striking you when you talk to the police
Okay.
is at page 19, isn't it?
Which document, Counsel?
Yeah, this was J.
Sir.
And then you pointed, when you were interviewed by the police, to the locations of your body that were hit, didn't you?
Don't remember, sir.
Would you recall saying, and this would be at the bottom of page 18, he hit me here, first right here, can I show you? And the police said, no, that's okay, we took pictures. Is that correct?
I don't remember, sir.
So it's fair to state, sir, you have no memory of what you told the police at all. Is that correct?
I remember I told them the story, sir, but exactly the orders I don't remember, sir.
Did you, sir, I approach Your Honor and ask that the documents be marked identified.
Sir, I show you what's been marked as Exhibit L for identification and Exhibit M for identification. You see that?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you identify first what Exhibit L is?
My leg, sir.
And what portion of your leg is it?
The bottom part?
And, sir, do you know when that picture was taken?
The police station, sir.
And now I direct you to Exhibit M, the smaller of the two pictures. You see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
You see it? Do you know what that is?
This is my leg, sir.
And when was that taken?
The police station, sir.
Both were taken at the police station on the same night?
They took pictures, sir.
Yeah, I understand that. Did you take any pictures on your own, sir?
I took them.
And, sir, looking at Exhibit M, isn't that a picture you took approximately 1 week later of the same injury?
No, sir.
That's a different injury?
No, it's the same injury, sir.
Okay. But you didn't take that picture?
No. My girlfriend took a picture, sir. But it was the same day.
Did you see? Your girlfriend took a picture of the injuries the same day as what, sir? That you went to the police?
Yeah, when I came back from the police.
Okay. So is that a picture of your injury the same day that you went to the police that was taken by your girlfriend?
I don't know if it's the same picture, sir.
Wait, is it a picture of your leg, Exhibit M?
Yes, my leg, sir.
You just don't know when it was taken?
No, sir.
You don't know who took that one?
The police person, I guess.
Well, you don't
I don't know.
Well, sir, you notice, sir, in Exhibit L, crisscross marks.
Police cross?
Do you see little marks within the wound area?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know how those were made?
No, sir.
You see the same straight rods?
Yes, sir.
You know how those were made in Exhibit M?
No, sir.
So you claim that these were made by a bat, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, sir.
And at the time these were made on your leg, the bat was smooth, wasn't it?
Moved?
It was completely rounded.
Yes.
It was a whole bat at that point,
Yes,
right?
let's go back.
Yes. That's the Okay.
Mr. President, the court reporter.
Sir, you never showed that bruise or any other bruise on the first night you went to the hospital, did you?
No, sir.
Sir, you told the people at the hospital that you were injured by a hook on a garage door in your face, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Before you ever got to the hospital, though, you told... Right. Do you recall arriving at Cumberland Farms after you left Angela's Coal-Fired Pizza?
Yes, sir.
You told the gentleman who was at Cumberland Farms that you had been involved in a car accident, didn't you?
I did, sir.
And then a few minutes later, you told 4 young people, one of whom was a female, that you had not been in a fight when she asked you. Isn't that correct?
I said it was a correct answer first.
To her too?
To the kids, yes.
Do you recall, sir, telling the kids that your boss hit you?
Yes, sir.
So you told the kids the truth, that your boss hit you, and then you asked to borrow the cell phone, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And you called Natalia,
Yes.
on the cell phone, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And sir, although you told the kids the truth, according to you, that your boss hit you,
Yes, sir.
you never told that to the hospital when you finally got there, did you?
No, sir.
So you weren't scared to tell the kids the truth, but you were scared to tell the hospital the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Even though the hospital happened after you spoke to the kids.
I don't know they spoke to the kids, sir.
Well, you spoke to the kids before you ever went to the hospital, didn't you?
Before.
Now, you indicated, sir, in the grand jury, that at some point, Mr. Sideri told you to sit back down in the chair. Is that correct?
I don't remember if I told that, but he told me to sit down in the chair, yes.
And you sat back down in the very chair that you were in when Mr. Sideri first came back in the room. Isn't that correct?
He can sit down in the chair, sorry again. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's my job to make sure you understand the question. You were first seated in a chair when Mr. Sideri first came into the kitchen area where you worked. Isn't that correct?
Yes, correct, sir.
By the way, sir, there's 2 exits right near the kitchen, isn't there?
2 exits.
Yes.
You go to
Doors, you can go outside.
You can go to the pizza station, you can go to the back kitchen.
And when Mr. Sideri led you to the door to look at his van, which door did he take you to?
Back kitchen.
And how far away were you from the door to the back kitchen when he took you there?
There's 2 rooms. I don't know how many feet.
Okay. How long did it take to walk there?
I don't know how long it was. There's one room, and the other over there is the second one, approximately.
Was it less than a minute?
I don't remember the time, sir.
Can you estimate for us how long it took you to walk from the chair to the back door?
I don't remember the time, sir. Sorry.
And you can't give us an estimate?
I don't know. A minute, 2 minutes, I can't remember. I don't remember the time.
Well, now, sir, you were in a chair at the desk when Mr. Sideri first came into the room, right?
Yes, sir.
At some point, you stood out of that chair, isn't that correct?
Halfway up? Yes, sir.
And then, at some point later, Mr. Sideri told you to sit down in that chair again.
Yes, sir.
That chair at that point was up against a wall, wasn't it?
It was in the same position. It was a little bit in a mirror.
You say it was in the same position.
It wasn't, no, the same position.
Okay. It was pushed up against the wall, wasn't it? Towards the wall?
Yeah, heavy moved, yes.
But it was pushed, the location I'm talking about is that it was pushed towards the wall, is that correct?
Close of the wall?
Was it pushed towards the wall?
I don't understand towards him, sorry.
Well, did you understand it, sir? It's right there. How far away was the back of the chair from the wall after it had been pushed?
Almost good.
Well, sir, the court reporter has to take down what you say. So could you put it in words what you just described?
Almost that distance, sir.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you. Say it again.
Almost the distance, that long.
The distance that it is now?
The walk from the chair.
And can you tell us how much distance that is?
No, sir.
May I approach to estimate it, Your Honor?
Yes.
Let's say, Your Honor, it looks like it's about 2 feet.
I agree that it's about 2 feet.
Yes.
Now, you sat in that chair after it was pushed towards the wall, isn't that correct?
After he put the thing in my hands, yes, sir.
And when you sat in that chair, sir, what happened next was, according to what you told the grand jury, you were hit with the bat behind the knee, isn't that correct?
I don't remember, sir.
I'm going to ask you if you would look at the bottom of page 26, line 24, and then go over to page 27
Yes.
to line 5. See that, sir?
Yes, sir.
According to you, Mr. Sideri hit you with the bat behind your right knee. Is that correct?
The book said that, yes, sir.
And that's while you were seated in the chair with the zip ties behind your hand. Is that correct?
The book said that, sir. But then it wasn't happening. Sorry.
The book said it, but then I didn't hear what you said.
The book said yes. I was sitting down, and he hit my knee, back of my knee.
Well, is the book correct or not?
That not what happened, sir. What happened was he hit my first leg, and I said, whoa, what are you doing? Give my money. And he hit me again, and he hit me right here, and he hit here, and I hold it back, If not, you punch me.
Sure. I'm talking about the precise moment when, after you've been out of the chair once, the chair is pushed back towards the wall, and you sit in it.
Yes.
At that point, sir, you told the grand jury that Mr. Sideri hit you with the bat behind your right knee, didn't you?
I don't remember if I said that, sir.
But that's what this says, isn't it?
In the book, yes, sir.
Do you recall, sir, that when you went to the grand jury, you were put under oath? Do you know what under oath means?
No, sir.
Do you recall that you raised your right hand and were asked whether or not you would tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And you answered yes to that, didn't you?
Yes, I did, sir.
And you don't know that that's called an oath, do you?
No, sir.
If you assume for the moment that I'm correct, sir, that that's called an oath, what you did when you raised your hand was agree to tell the truth, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Are you telling us that what you said to the grand jury at that point in time was not true?
No, sir. I'm going to say that. I said the truth.
Well, was it true then that once the chair was pushed towards the wall and you were sitting in it again, Mr. Sideri, while you were sitting in the chair, hit you with the bat behind your right knee?
I'm sorry, sir. I said the truth, but I remember what happened now. I just told you.
So, what you told the grand jury then was not what happened, is that correct?
I said what happened, sir, but I'm sorry if I said different orders, but what happened, I know what happened with me, sir.
Sir, did it happen that when you were seated in the chair, when the chair was 2 feet from the wall,
Yes.
when Mr. Sideri hit you behind the right knee while you were seated in the chair with a bat?
No, he didn't, sir.
Now, sir, the reason you're changing your testimony now, isn't it, is that because it's impossible physically for a bat to strike you behind the right knee when you're seated in this kind of a chair, isn't it?
No, sir.
Sir, when did the bat break?
I was sitting down, and he was like, give my money. Where's my money? He was hitting me, and I was moving my leg, and the baseball hit the chair leg a little bit. I didn't see break, but make a noise.
You didn't see any portion of the bat broken? At any time?
No, sir. It was when he hit me, make a noise, and it was a little bit like this. And it was like that anymore. A little bit like this.
So, I'm confused, sir. Did you see a portion of the bat broken at any time, or did you not see a portion of the bat broken?
I see something like this, and a baseball bat. A little pieces like this.
Well, after the bat broke, he put the bat on the table, didn't he?
I didn't say, sir.
Sir, I'm directing you now to Exhibit K for identification, which is your grand jury minutes, at page 34, lines 4 through 11. Actually, lines 4 through 15.
Okay.
You recall, sir, being asked in the grand jury that, and you said that Eric Sederi had been hitting you with a baseball bat. At some point, did that bat splinter? And you said yes, didn't you?
I don't remember to say, sir.
You recall being asked after that, and where did he put the bat? And you said, on the table.
I don't remember, sir.
You recall then being asked, was that on the desk that was in front of the chair where you had originally been sitting? And you said yes.
I don't remember, sir. I'm sorry.
And then you were asked, is that desk still directly in front of you where you're sitting in the chair that Eric Sederi now moved against the other wall? And you answered yes, didn't you?
I don't remember.
Well, sir, is that true? That after the bat splintered, Mr. Sederi put it on the desk that was in front of the chair where you'd originally been sitting?
I don't remember any put the bed, sir.
I'm not asking you whether you remember, sir. I'm asking whether or not it's true. You don't remember whether it's true or not?
I don't remember, sir.
You recall that you told this jury about where the bat was placed?
I didn't tell, sir.
But you told the grand jury, isn't that correct?
I don't remember, sir.
Sir, your grand jury testimony occurred on April 22, 2009, isn't that correct?
I don't remember the date. Sorry.
You recall it being in April of 2009?
I've been a grand jury, yes. But I don't remember exactly the date.
You recall it being in the year 2009?
So I tell you, Carter Beans.
Do you recall going to the grand jury sometime in the year
Yes,
2009?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Do you recall it being in the spring of 2009, the early spring?
Was, yeah, no was, no.
So, this incident happened in March of 2009, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
Your testimony last week occurred in January 2012, isn't that so?
Sorry, say again?
Your testimony began last week before this jury, January 2012, isn't that so?
I don't understand your question. Sorry.
You were here last week, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
You testified in front of this jury last week, didn't
Yes,
you?
sir.
Your testimony began in January last week, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
And we're in the year 2012, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Is it fair to state, sir, that your memory would have been better when you testified in the grand jury less than a full month after what you claim happened to you than it is today?
I don't know, sir. What I'm tell is exactly I remember and I feel, and it's in my mind, sir.
Sir, do you recall telling this jury that when you were free of the zip ties,
Yes.
you were within reaching distance of the guns that were on the counter? Isn't that true?
No, I don't remember to say that, sir.
Well, is that true?
No, sir. I didn't go to take that, no.
I didn't say that you went to take them, but you were close enough to have taken them if you wanted to. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't take them, according to you. Is that
No,
right?
sir.
But while they were there, Mr. Sederi and Mr. Guevara walk away from you, don't they?
Yes, sir.
And you told the police that they walked away from you about 10 feet, isn't that true?
Yeah, substation, yes, sir.
And you told the grand jury that they walked away from you about 15 feet, isn't that true?
I don't remember, sir.
How far away from you were the guns when they were on the counter?
I wasn't in the chair here, and the table was right in the computer here, sir. Right in the
So the table's here,
No, sir, right here.
right here.
Yeah.
And you said, how, can you tell us how far away that would be? Would that be about 5 feet?
I don't remember, please.
How far away were Mr. Gulla and Mr. Sederi this far away from you when the guns were there?
A little bit more. Right there, sir.
Right here.
He has a ball.
Okay. And so they were further away from the guns than you were, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you were in the chair and the guns were there was nothing between you and the guns, was there?
No, sir.
No table or nothing blocking you, no desk, right?
No, sir. No, nothing.
You were handed your jacket by Mr. Sederi, is that correct?
And he helped me to put a jacket on me.
And he helped you put it on you, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you told this jury that you ran through the woods, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't stop running until you came to the Cumberland Farms, is that correct?
I stopped to look, sir.
You stopped to look where?
The road, and looked back again, and went to the Cumberland Farm.
But in point of fact, you didn't encounter anyone from the time you left Angeles until you got to the Cumberland Farms, right? You didn't see anyone?
No.
You didn't speak with anyone while you were on your way to the Cumberland Farms?
No, sir.
And you didn't stop anywhere and take off any of your clothing, did you?
No, sir.
Sir, you didn't have the jacket on, though, when you went into the Cumberland Farms, did you?
I don't remember, sir. I believe so, yes. I kept the jacket.
Now, sir, you were wearing an Angeles chef's coat, weren't you? At the time you had this altercation with Mr. Sederi and Mr. Guevara?
Yes, sir.
Did you take it off?
Guevara took it off. He had a glove in his hand. He took it off, and he put it in a black plastic. Sorry.
And when he took it off, sir, when was the last time you saw it?
So my chef coat.
Yes.
When he put it in a bag.
Now, did you see what happened to the bag?
No, sir.
Sir, you told us that Mr. Sederi took you out to his van and opened the back of it, is that correct? And you looked inside.
That's a SUV. He opened the tailgate.
And when he opened the tailgate, sir, is that it opens up like this from the back and you can look inside the interior?
I don't remember how he's opened, but yes, I could have seen inside.
And you could look inside from the back of the car into the inside of the car, is that correct?
Yes.
And you told the police, didn't you, that you saw a blue tarpaulin and double layers of black bags, is that correct?
No, sir. I said clear bags.
Double layers of clear bags?
Yes.
And, sir, how did you know they were double layers?
Because I saw one bag, I saw another bag, one bag, another bag, and the blue tarp was this side.
Sir, did you see any tool? You didn't see any tools in Mr. Sederi's van at that time, did you?
No, sir, I don't remember.
Now, you told us, sir, that Mr. Sederi came out with a knife to cut the zip ties, is that correct?
He had a knife in his hand, and El Guevara cut the last zip tie.
How do you know, sir, that Mr. Sederi was going to cut the zip ties?
He put a knife in here. The zip tie was in my hands, and he put a knife in my neck.
So how do you know he was going to use the knife to cut the zip ties?
I don't know if he cut his tie. He told El Guevara, Take it off the zip tie.
Didn't you tell the grand jury that Mr. Sideri came with a knife to cut the plastic?
No, sir, I didn't say that. Wait, the grand jury don't remember,
Sir?
sir. I was here.
I'm going to direct you to Exhibit K, page 44. The last two lines. Actually, from line 20. Told the grand jury, didn't you, sir? And when Mr. Sideri returned, he had in his hands a long knife with a green handle. Isn't that correct?
I don't remember what I told you, but he has the knife.
And do you recall you said, when asked, what does he do with it, you said in part, Al said, how do I call from your cell? And then Eric came with the knife to cut the plastic. You see that, sir?
Yes, sir, I'm seeing.
You don't have any memory if
No,
that's
sir.
true or not today, do you?
I don't remember to say that.
Now, sir, you told the police that you instructed Mr. Guevara how to dial your cell phone. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
You told the grand jury that Al Guevara told you to dial the phone and to put it on speaker yourself, and that you did so, didn't you?
I don't remember, sir.
I'm going to ask you to look at page 46 through 47 of Exhibit K. '46, begin at line 23.
Yes, sir.
And you were asked, were you not? Well, start actually at line 21 on page 46. You were specifically asked in the grand jury who had the phone, weren't you?
Yes.
You said Mr. Guevara, didn't you?
Yes.
Then you were asked specifically who dialed the phone, weren't you?
The book says yes.
And you said I did, didn't you?
I don't remember if you said that, sir, but the book says yes. This is written.
You do believe that the book, as you call it, the transcript of the grand jury, correctly recites your testimony, is that correct?
It's correct on my testimony? Yes, sir.
Oh, sir, at one point in your testimony before the police, you said it was when Eric pulled out a big knife, right?
Yes, sir.
And then at another point, you said, and this was after Eric and Al talked, Eric came back and asked you where the money was, right?
You always being asking where's the money, all the time. Sir.
It was at that point that you untied your hands, right?
I don't remember, sir.
I'm going to ask you if you would look at page 33 and 34 of your Exhibit J.
33.
And 34. You see that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now, at page 33, looking at line 1, according to you, Eric was in the kitchen and Al asked where your cell phone was, right? you claim that Mr. Guevara looked in your pocket, took your phone from your right pocket. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that true?
He grabbed the phone, yes, sir.
Then, at that point, while the cell phone was being dialed, Eric brought a big knife, right?
I was talking on the phone.
And it was at that point, when Eric brought the knife, that you claim you pushed and broke out of the zip ties yourself. Isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, and you state that, don't you, at page 33. Specifically, lines from lines 11 through 19. Isn't that correct?
That's what script say, yes, sir.
And then they walk away, and you look at the two revolvers, but you do nothing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Then you told the police that Eric came back and said to you, "Tell me if you have the money." Isn't that correct?
I don't remember, sir.
Well, take a look at page 34, line 5. Right. You told these jurors that you left Brazil because you were poor. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You told Jonathan Cavallo something different, right?
I don't know, sir.
So to refresh your recollection, sir, didn't you tell Jonathan Cavallo that you were on the lam from Brazil?
What's the letter, sir?
Didn't you tell them that you had to leave there because you got into some trouble there?
No, sir.
That's not true.
No, sir.
You never told Jonathan Cavallo.
No, sir.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Montero, who was injured, he had a nickname, didn't he?
Luis?
Luis.
Oh, nickname?
It was Wingzilla, wasn't it?
Wingzilla, yes.
Wingzilla. That's what everybody at Angeles called him, isn't that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
I have nothing further than
One.
And he let you see how their operation was,
Yes.
correct? He let you into the kitchen, he let you see what the cooks do,
Yes.
and every aspect of the operation.
Just the kitchen, sir.
Just the kitchen.
For the beginning, yes.
You'd agree with me that this wasn't a pizza parlor, this was a restaurant.
Yes, yes.
And you know what the seating capacity was?
Service? The seating, sorry.
Seating, how many people could be seated?
No.
It was well over 100, correct?
Oh, yes.
And there was multiple dining rooms, correct?
Yeah.
There was a full service bar of 30 seats, correct?
I don't know when coming to say, sir.
And it was a bar that would, let me ask you, where you are sitting, where would the bar have been?
Talk about the Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving.
Yes, it's huge.
It would be further than I am from you now, correct?
I think so, sir.
And then they hired you and assigned you to Tingsboro, right?
They hired me, yes.
They hired you now to work in the kitchen. You went from construction now to focusing on kitchen, correct?
The first time I started in the construction, that's what you mean?
Oh, once you were brought to Saugus and they explained and showed you the operation, you then started working in the kitchen. at
Kitchen,
Saugus.
yes.
And you worked there for a period of time, right?
Yes.
And your recollection is you were then offered the job as the assistant general manager of the Tingsboro restaurant?
If they promoted? Yes.
So you were promoted before you ever went to Tingsboro, correct?
Yes.
And you went to Tingsboro, you said, to work under a gentleman named Nicholas Sederi?
No, first time I was in Nick.
Who was it?
something. I don't know his last name.
Is it Agresti?
What's Agresti?
Frank Agresti. Is that who
Oh,
it was?
I don't remember his last name.
In your recollection is when you went up there and worked under Frank, last name you don't know, you were the assistant general manager?
Yes.
And then at some point Nick Sederi came up?
Yes, Frank being fired.
I'm sorry?
Frank being fired.
And when Frank was fired, he was fired by Al Guevara, wasn't he?
Yes.
And when Frank was fired, to the best of your knowledge, he was fired in a private meeting with Mr. Guevara, wasn't he?
Yeah, he called. I don't know how he fired him. He called everybody on vacation, said, "Hey guys, unfortunately, Frank's no longer with us anymore, but everything's fine."
Al told you.
Yes. So everybody.
Now, when you started in Kingsborough, Angela's restaurant was very busy, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was more than just busy, exceptional. Correct?
It's busy.
Busier than Sophia's.
Yes.
As busy as the 99, if not
No.
busier.
No.
No? Place was full every night, though, correct?
Yes.
And it was very hectic, you told us, between what you call the rush hour, which would be, what, between 6 and about 8:30, 9 o'clock?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. John Galvin, Mr. Gulla, joining with Attorney Mary Ames.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. All right, you've got a trial date of February 13th.
That's correct, Judge.
We'll be ready for you. Yes, I've got some motions here I haven't seen yet.
There are two motions, Your Honor, and, well, if Your Honor wish, I'll hand up to him a list of what we've discussed, we see coming down the road in terms of motions. And the reason I'm presenting those two today is they are the motions with the most substance. And we assume that the court would want to have an opportunity to read the materials. And in fact, Mr. Galvin's told me that he'd like the opportunity to respond. And we'd like to suggest a date prior to the 13th to actually have a hearing and a decision on that. And the other reason that would be a good idea, Your Honor, is both the Commonwealth and the defendant intend to request a finding with respect to competency to go forward with trial. And to that end, we would suggest that perhaps the best date might be the Friday preceding the trial, if that's available to the court, for these substantive motions eliminated as well as the competency issue.
That's correct, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'll perhaps have some additional, have my own motion to eliminate as well. And to the extent, in that, between now and then, that we can work through some of these motions ourselves, we'll do so. And so if the 10th is available to go over motions to eliminate, and again, to have my client examined.
The 10th, I was going to try to scoot out of here in the afternoon. I haven't even told the clerk about it. Now everybody knows.
The date preceding, Your Honor, at the 9th.
Or would the morning be available?
The morning probably is available.
That would be fine. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
We're 10th Friday. Right. So, Friday, February 10th at 9 a.m.
That's great, Your Honor. Could I
Dr.
trouble-
Baxter will be here,
Excellent.
assuming she's available.
Could I trouble the court for a brief sidebar, Your Honor?
Sure. So the Commonwealth's motion to admit evidence of defendant's prior bad acts and motion to admit videotape of the crime scene sounds as though they should wait further hearing. There's this is a 911 call on December 11th, 09.
Yes, that's part of the motion for admitting prior bad acts.
Yep.
If there's any way for the court to have the opportunity to listen to that call and also to view the crime scene video prior to the 10th, it might be of value to you.
I was going to suggest that, Mr. Galvin, all right?
Your Honor, I think we discussed this. We thought it would be a great idea to put out an opportunity ahead of time to review it.
I've also found that not all computers have the right software to open various different police departments' calls.
Mine almost never does.
Yeah, so I just thought if you have any difficulty with that, if someone from your office or your chambers could contact me and I could do anything to help with that, I'd be more than happy to.
Okay, let me just take a quick look down the list of other things. Almost motion to sequester witnesses with exceptions. The exceptions are...
I didn't actually submit that today because, to be more efficient, I had listed only the defendant's mother and the victim's mother, and in truth, it also should include the Commonwealth's mental health expert, at least for that portion of the testimony provided by the defendant's mental health expert. So I was going to submit that actually at our next date. But there is no objection on either one of our parts with respect to the mothers or the mental health experts.
Good. Okay, get me those questions for the denier, stipulations to the identification of deceased, wish to admit a photograph of the victim when she was alive, selective autopsy photographs of the victim, selective photographs of the victim at the scene of her death, 911 call on January 23rd, 2010, demonstrative charts, we said we'll look at those, preclude improper character evidence of the victim, serving testimony from the defendant, inquiry as to the defendant's competency to stand trial. We'll address that on the 10th. Introduction of self-serving hearsay on direct exam of defense mental health expert. That was sort of covered in a stipulation that you both submitted, right?
It is, and it isn't, Your Honor, covered to the extent that the exclusion of defendant's statements that is barred, absolutely barred, use. But to the extent that there are statements that are not barred because they weren't in the compelled part of the examination, it would still be something where you protect yourself by saying, well, you can't just testify in the defendant's place. It's just a standard motion, Your Honor.
Okay, and one expert present while the other testifies, and all the jury instructions, which I've got from them.
Yes, what we did, Your Honor, is submit instructions that Ms. Sylvia and I have created. We thought it might be of benefit to give those to the court as well as defense counsel ahead of time, with the, allow as much time as possible to see if we're on the same page on that. And I do expect to present an amended version of it at the charge conference. But this way, the issue of the mental impairment and the recent cases of intoxication and how they play into mental impairment, I thought it might be useful to present at this time.
I suppose anybody's seen a rough draft of the new model homicide instructions yet, have you? I haven't.
No, Your Honor. I've heard that they're coming.
You heard that they're what?
I've heard that they're coming, but I mean, I've been hearing that for maybe like 6 months, 9 months.
My view is they may accept Ms. Sylvia's draft final instructions, sir, that we're presenting in this case, Your Honor. So I'd like to convince you that that might be appropriate.
Okay. All right, well, if you can get as much of this as possible to me, a couple of days before the 10th,
Sure.
on both sides, that would be very helpful.
Thank you.
Anything else we should do between now and then?
I think we're fine at this juncture. We'll make arrangements to get the 9/11 to take and the other video for you to look at. And we're going to sit ourselves and see how much we can sit through the simplifier.
Okay, good. See you on February 10th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.